Hello there, it's Sunday morning. Do you fancy a full English breakfast? Don't have time to prepare everything? Don't want the hassle of washing up pans? Then perhaps you need this. Will this be a top or a flop? The Tesco All Day Breakfast meal for one, with pork sausage, fluffy omelette, hash brown and baked beans. It doesn't mention the bacon in the picture. Perhaps that's just a serving suggestion. Ingredients. Well, it does mention bacon here. Crikey, 35 minutes to cook in the oven. Ain't nobody got time for that. Can I microwave this? Yep. 8 minutes. That sounds better. Let's get this out of the box then. Well, no great surprise there. A 2-compartment plastic tray with a film lid. Oh, it's not quite a case of slam it in the microwave. Apparently, I have to peel back this side to remove the sausage and the bacon. Well, there's the sausage. Oh, and look underneath there. Got the bacon. Now I have to pierce the film over the beans. There we go. Now, 4.5 minutes in the microwave. One of the classic British dishes is the full English breakfast. It has its origins some 800 years ago. The wealthy gentry, who in those days were a social class of landowners and upper classes, would lay on elaborate feasts for breakfast to show off their wealth and hospitality. By the time the Industrial Revolution came along in the Victorian era, the growing middle class of professionals and business owners emulated their upper class peers, not only to impress their fellow colleagues and friends, but perhaps to also show that they were worthy of investment. Eventually, the English breakfast filtered down to the working class. The Industrial Revolution had brought many changes to the working day. Heavy and arduous labouring in factories, down coal mines, etc. Working conditions were often cold. Workers would spend their days with limited breaks. Ready meals didn't exist and canteens didn't have microwave ovens. Lunches would usually be cold food. Perhaps sandwiches or pasties, pastries filled with leftover meat and vegetables. These people really did need a warming, filling meal to set them up for the day ahead. Today, the full English breakfast is as popular as it always has been. It's a staple menu item in restaurants, cafes, pubs, alehouses, and even takeaways. Okay. That's hot. Oh, that's hot. Okay, now I can put the sausage and the bacon back into this compartment. That's extremely thin bacon. Never mind, it is what it is. There goes the sausage. We need to stir the beans. On this side of the compartment's a bit more tricky. So we've done that. Well, the beans are still partly frozen. Now it goes back in to the microwave for another 3.5 minutes. But does this Tesco All Day Breakfast do justice to the full English? Let's find out. It now needs to rest for a minute. Ooh, that's hot. Ho, ho, ho. Ooh, it's hot. So while that's resting, I'll take the opportunity just to warm the plate a little bit. Meanwhile, we'll take the... Oh, that's hot. Take the film lid off. Oh, that'll do, that's nice and warm. Let's see if this marvel of modern food will warm me up and fill me. I lay it out just like on the box. So we want the omelette to one side, and then we take the bacon like that, the hash brown, that goes something like that, and the sausage, that goes there, and that leaves a nice reservoir for me to fill with the baked beans. Crikey, there's a lot of baked beans there, and an awful lot of bean juice as well. Right, we'll start with the appearance and the aroma of this dish. Funnily enough, it smells of baked beans. Now, the first most noticeable point about the appearance of the meal is just how many baked beans there are. The hash brown and the omelette and the bacon look as you would expect. The hash brown is a little bit pale, and the sausage that seems to have disappeared under a flood of baked beans. So we'll go in and we'll start with some of these beans. Start by tasting these. They are what they are, the baked beans. The beans themselves are quite soft, and the bean juice does taste of bean juice, funnily enough. So next we'll dig into a little bit of the hash brown. The hash brown could be a little bit warmer, really, and the hash brown, it's certainly got no crispiness to it at all. That's probably, if we'd have cooked it in the oven, Of course, I'm sure the hash brown would have been much more crisp and probably golden tanned as well. It's fairly bland, but it's what it is, it's potato. So we'll have a look at the omelette next. That cuts easily. Again, it's very bland. It does taste of egg, but that's what it is. It's just a plain egg omelette. It is fluffy. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'd eat that again. So the bacon. Now we've not got a right lot of bacon. And quite a lot of fat on it. So we'll give a tray of bacon. That's not the best piece of bacon I've ever eaten. It is edible, but as bacon goes, it's not great. It's quite dry. That leaves the sausage. Now, unfortunately, we do have bean juice on the sausage. Here we go. No, the sausage, that's just not great at all. I'll finish this breakfast off and then we'll come back in a minute to do some scores. As you can see, I've done my best to consume as much of the bean juice as I can, but there's just too much. Having now finished the meal, the baked beans, they've not got a pleasant flavour in actual fact. So now it's time to take a look at the all-important score sheet. Starting with the taste, I'm going to go with a not great. That's 9 out of 30. Now the packaging that it came in, the cardboard box is recyclable, the plastic tray can be recycled, but of course we do have the film which that cannot be recycled. We're going to give it 3. Preparation convenience. Now it was easy to prepare. We just put it in the microwave, but we did have one additional step. We're going to go with 14 out of 20 because it's microwavable, but there's one additional step. Now, as far as the shop it came from, we bought it from a Tesco's supermarket, and the Food Standards Authority, they have given that branch a score of 5. So that's what we're going to go with for the store. Now I'll just get the box. Now it does have the traffic light nutrition score along the bottom, so we can easily score the traffic lights from that. The fat is medium, the saturates are low, the sugars are low, but it's high in salt. In fact, the salt content is 41% of the daily recommended intake. That's a lot of salt. The Nutri-Score is a similar traffic light system which is popular in Europe. Handy if you're not watching this in the UK. The Nutri-Score I can only estimate, but I've taken advice from the Open Food Facts website, and it's actually a surprising A. That is a surprise. Now the Nova score, now the Open Food Facts website also gives a score which is called the Nova score. That score is generated to gauge how processed the food is, and it is an ultra processed food. So that gets a Nova score of 4, which is not good at all. It's okay, but it's not something you need to be eating on a regular daily basis. So we'll wrap up the scoring now with my overall personal opinion, taking into account not just the flavour and taste of the meal, but this is also based on the quantity. I think there's too many beans and not enough of everything else. So my score also takes into account how easy it is to prepare, and my overall opinion on this meal, it's not average, it's a little bit expensive. I'm going to give this below average. That's 4 points, 4 out of 10. I think that's fair. So now I can feed this score sheet into the top or flop-o-meter. We have a score on the door. It's a 5.5. It's stuck in the middle with Hugh on the top or flop-o-meter. I'm GT. You've been watching GT Tastes. You know what to do next, please. It really does help to spread the word. And then maybe I'll see you in another video soon. Goodbye, farewell, and as always, have a grand tour.